Thank you all for coming. Thank you for allowing us to come into your community. We're honored to help and really appreciate that. I'm just going to run right through things so we can get you in and out of here quickly, but get you the information that hopefully you need. So my name is Damon Simmons. Like I said, one of the information officers on the fire. First, I'm going to introduce Deputy Fire Staff Dan Quinones to just give a quick welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. So, day 96, if my math is correct, on this fire. If we recall, this started with the Klondike, the Granite, and the Taylor fires merging into what we have right now with the Klondike East and the Klondike West. Klondike East is managed by a team over on the east side out of Cave Junction, and we have Northwest Incident Management Team 7 here with us now as of a few days ago, taking over the fire here on this west side, and we appreciate them being here and helping us. I want to say thanks for you guys coming out and showing continued interest in your community. I've been in the position since April. Was hoping for a slower season than last year. It's not working out that way, but we're here to do our best for you, give you the most information that we can. And I'm not here to talk at you or drag this on. I'm really here to make sure that you guys know that the Forest Service is fully engaged. Been over here for about almost 2 months now. And also to introduce Tammy Connor, the acting district ranger for the Gold Beach Gold Beach Ranger District, and Russell Simmons, Russell Wilstead, a couple of Russells. There's Russell back there, the fire management officer for the district as well. When we do our breakouts, we're going to be here for any and all of your questions, and look forward to that engagement more than just doing a presentation up here in front of you. So again, thanks for coming, and I look forward to talking to y'all.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shawn Weagle. I'm the incident meteorologist on this fire. I've been here for 2 days, but I'm fairly familiar with this area. I've been on several fires in this general area. I was on Chetco Bar last year, and y'all know how fun that one was. So anyway, when the fire made its push on Sunday, we had really strong east winds. On the ridge tops especially, we had gusts 30 to 40 miles an hour that really, exacerbated the fire behavior, and Eric will get into that later on. But more importantly, we've been in this unseasonably warm and dry pattern with this high pressure sitting over us for a long time. And because of that, the rain that we had in early October, it moistened things, but it's been dry long enough for things to dry out. And so that's why, we're kind of acting more like summer than we are October right now. So looking forward, we're still in that very warm, dry pattern. The humidity is really low, especially up on the ridge tops. You got 10 to 15% relative humidity up there. Sometimes both day and night. But right now we're not looking at nearly as much east wind as what we've been seeing or what we saw on Sunday. So tonight and tomorrow, we are expecting a little uptick in east winds, but nothing near what we saw on Sunday. Maybe some gusts 15 to 20 miles an hour up there. So things are going to warm up and dry out a little bit further because of that. We might see some single-digit relative humidities as a result. But again, those winds are not going to be anywhere near as strong as they were on Sunday. And then going into Sunday, we have the next Sunday. We have a little bit of a cooling trend, but it's still going to be a little bit warmer and drier than normal. But it's going to be the beginning of a pattern shift towards a more typical fall Pacific Northwest type pattern. And we're going to see the winds shift around to more of an onshore direction. That brings a good bit of humidity in from the ocean and moistens things up a little bit, cools things down. And then I think by Tuesday, we actually have a decent chance of getting at least some rain. Not exactly sure how much we're going to get, but at least the humidities are going to be up. It's going to be quite a bit cooler, and there's probably going to be at least a little bit of rain from that system. And then after that, going further into next week, it does look like we might even get stronger frontal systems associated with that pattern change, and we could see some pretty significant rainfall towards the end of the week. But again, the details are uncertain. That's like 7 days out from now. So I'll be keeping a close eye on it. And, I'll be here after the briefings, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that any of you might have. Thanks a lot. I'm going to hand it over to Eric Johnson with fire behavior.
Good afternoon, Eric Johnson, fire behavior trainee. Really like seeing the chance of rain coming in. That's going to really help us out with fire behavior. But I'll start looking back at how we got here. So Sunday, as Shawn was talking about, we had really strong east winds, and those came with really, really brutally dry air. So we're talking sustained 30-mile-an-hour winds with gusts substantially over that and single-digit relative humidity, which really caused the smoke column that had embers in it to just be going horizontal with spot fires forming 1 and 2 miles out. And then those spot fires would very rapidly establish and create new torching trees that would send embers into the column and go further on. And so, as you guys know, that was a very impressive event. So since then, the pattern has completely changed. So we had the wind, and then the wind stopped, and then it's been really smoky since then, as you guys know. The smoke, the good thing about the smoke is it really moderates the fire behavior. It shades it out. It keeps the surface of the earth from getting warm, so you don't have the winds. And so little wind, little sun reaching the surface keeps your temperatures down. It allows the inversion, which traps that smoke, just to stay in place, and especially this time of year when the sun is so far south. There's not a lot of sun making it down into the drainages anyway, and then you add smoke in there, and that helps us more. The downside is you have to breathe smoke. It also makes it really hard for firefighters to see fires, all the spot fires out there, and it makes it really challenging to find places for aviation, your helicopters, air tankers, that sort of thing, to find places to work. So since Monday, that's been the situation. Real dense, stagnant air down here, which has really been helping us out from a firefighting perspective. So the fire behavior we're seeing under that smoke is mostly a surface fire spread, flame lengths that are 2 to 4 foot flames, manageable with hand crews and dozers, that sort of thing. What we're going to see as the wind shifts around is it's going to start clearing some of the air out of your community, and it's also going to start bringing in the humidity, which is really going to help us. The one concern there is that we are going to have increased wind, so that has a potential to cause fire to start becoming more active on the north side, which fortunately is far away from Agness, but that's our concern. So we're doing, and you'll hear from operations what we're doing proactively to help get in front of that situation. But what we expect and what's going to happen is over the next several days through about Sunday, Monday, going to be real low, moderate fire behavior underneath that smoke. And then we're going to start seeing the smoke clear out right before the rain starts coming in. If you have any questions, I'll be back in the back to your left by the fire behavior incident weather map.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Greg Chandler. I do operations for Team 7. What I'd like to do is just give a quick overview on the status of this fire, and I will be here after everyone talks up here if you have any questions with operations. First, I'd like to go over the map so we can get oriented on this map. This is the Burnt Ridge 2308 road here. That's Burnt Ridge. Here's Agness here. The Oak Flat area here, the Illinois River. So I want to also go over the growth of the fire. The new growth on Sunday is this area right here. It was stopped at this road. So this is the new fire that we're dealing with, plus the spots out here. So what we're doing now is our priority initially, and this still is our priority, are the spots that are east of the Illinois River above the homes. We have the structure protection folks still there day and night. We have all these spots. I think there are 8 of them total. This one was about 160 acres in size. They're all lined, and we have the large one today will actually have hose around it. We'll be mopping up. We had one spot, 16 acres on the Spud Road area. That has been mopped up for about 3 days, and probably in another day it'll be in patrol status. So we're looking really good on all the spots. We had a lot of line that we had to put around here that we completed yesterday. Hand and dozer line, that's all in, and that's all plumbed at this time. The 2 areas of concern that we have now is we have this open fire right here, and we're actually doing some, this is indirect line that was put in well before our tenure here. For the control line, we're burning that. We burnt last night. We're about halfway done. We hope to be done with the burning by end of shift tonight through here and along this ridge. We have ordered some retardant, so it's not because the fire is getting away. What we're doing is we're reinforcing this ridge with retardant. So as we burn, if any spots go over there, it's going to go into the retardant, so we won't have issues of an escape. So that you'll be hearing, I think retardant's probably running as we speak now. So you will be hearing some tankers go over probably for the next several hours. We have 4 heavy helicopters assigned to this fire that are assisting us in keeping all these spots in check, and then also helping in the mop up and also helping in this burn effort. After tomorrow, we still have this is all open line. This is line that was put in before this was control line. We will start burning this starting tomorrow, and with the intention of closing this line back to the fire. So we'll have black all the way back in, or good black fire line all the way back into the fire, and then it's all checked into here. So that's the intention. Before the weather comes in, hopefully within the next 4 or 5 days, all that will be done. Resource-wise, when we got here, we had 2 crews. We're up to 17 crews now on the fire, and we have 19 engines. We have, I think, 6 bulldozers to help us, and as I mentioned, we have the state mob resources that are, you see down in the Oak Flat area, and they'll be there at least a couple more days, I think, through the weekend. So with that, I will be up here to answer any questions after the other presentations.
Afternoon, everyone. Sheriff Ward from the Sheriff's Office. So Sunday, like you said, fire blew up on the over here, and it forced us to be able to have to do evacuations immediately. And we're talking not from just a level 2, but from a level 1 to a level 3, just like that. So my captain and I got our deputies together, and we were up here Sunday night all evening and into the morning. In fact, the captain didn't go home till daylight the next day. But we were patrolling the roads and making sure people weren't going in that didn't belong in those areas. We had really good cooperation from everybody that we talked to, especially on Spud Road. I can recall when I got up here on, I can't remember what time it was, went up to House Creek Road, and there was several fires up there that were around the houses. You could see them, and then I looked back across, I could see a fire across on Spud Road, and it was at that time a couple acres. And I had a deputy on that road over there, and he was going down and around and underneath it, telling people, all the residents there that they need to evacuate. And I saw his red and blues on his car, and I called him on the radio and I says, hey, there's a fire right above you. It's only a couple hundred yards. How many more places you got? He says, I got 2. I said, well, you need to get out of there. He says, well, I'm going to make sure I get the other 2 residents. And I believe Court was up at the end of one of those roads and ran into the deputies. But we got them out of there. We get over onto Oak Flat, and that area had good cooperation. Of course, there were some people that decided that they weren't going to leave. And our comment to them was, we may not be able to come back and get you. So it'd be nice if you just go ahead and leave. But we didn't force anybody out of the homes. But what we are doing now, and we've done ever since that day, is we're patrolling that in the closed areas. Not so much Spud Road now, but the Oak Flat area, making sure that there's nobody in there that shouldn't be in there. I don't have a problem, tell you the truth, with people who live up there that need to get out to get some fuel or some food or some whatever from the store and then go back in. I have let the person there at the beginning of Oak Flat Road know that, to let you back in if you're there. You may have to show us some identification, but I think that's just the best thing to do. Other than that, I only make these notifications level 3 based on the recommendations from the incident management team and the unified command. So when they tell me I recommend that we close her down, that's what we do.
That's not your typical Agness dog, I don't think.
No, wait a minute.
Dang.
Don't talk about my dog.
But anyway, we're going to remain in the area as long as it's closed, and protect your homes. That's what we want to make sure, that nobody's in there taking things that they shouldn't be taking or doing things that they shouldn't be doing. If they don't live in there, they shouldn't be in there. If deputies come across somebody that says, hey, I'm going up here to see some friends, well, we're not going to let those people in until that road opens up. But you can ask the fire incident command team that I'm after them every day. Every time I get an opportunity, I ask them, let me know whenever it's possible to get people back in their homes. Those homes can't be protected by us all the time. The best way to protect them is have the people who live there back in their homes. And so yesterday I was told that we could release Spud Road from a level 3 to level 2. We put out notifications over our Everbridge system through social media, press releases, and contacted several people, key people up here that know. Our deputies was telling people that they can go back in their home on Spud Road. That was all taken care of within about an hour, I believe. So we're working hard to get people back in their homes. I just want to make sure everybody's safe and their property is safe. The good thing is we have lost no structures due to this fire, and I credited that to the people who are fighting that fire. So other than that, I'll stick around and answer questions if you need be, and we'll go from there.
Good afternoon. I'm Kyle Gibbons with Coos Forest Protective Association. And so I'm here to kind of touch on the values at risk, and that's obviously the community and the structures and your guys' homes. So we've been in here, and we've been coordinating with the Forest Service and the teams since late July. And we continued with that process. And so I guess the one question to answer, and there's been some frustration on this, and it's totally justified, is, why was the stuff pulled from the houses? And that wasn't somebody making a decision on their own. That was Coos Forest, the Forest Service, the team that was involved, some of the local authorities maybe, and the decision was made to start pulling that stuff. Due to we'd gotten some rain, the weather had changed, and so that's where that's at. It wasn't somebody on their own. It was a mutual decision, and then when that turned out to not be the right decision, everybody came back together and to help out and try to save the structures. And so fortunately, it turned out that we didn't lose any structures, and hopefully we're getting around all the spots, and it's going to turn out to be a positive outcome. So I'll be here afterwards to answer any questions. So thanks.
You know how much fun it is on a Sunday night to be able to call the sheriff on his cell number? I don't get that option very often, but Sheriff, you and your staff did an incredible job. Here's the sequence of events for me and how it might relate to everybody here and this whole fire process and all of it for the last 2 years. But Thursday, we're all starting to feel pretty confident. We had some rain. I'm watching equipment and firefighters leave, and I'm okay with that. Friday, I had a Sudden Oak Death workshop field trip in the South County area with the BLM, a full day. And so I took that day, and it was almost a little bit of relaxation. And that's a big issue that you're going to hear me talk about more in the future. Saturday, still got a little bit of confidence going. Sunday morning, it's time to, I'm at Agness, and I'm thinking about the schedule for the day I need to go welcome the Team 7. And I've been pretty fortunate to be able to welcome every one of the 9 two-week teams from the very beginning of this fire on July 15th. So at Agness, I'm walking between the cabins, and I swear it felt like a 40-mile, that was about noon, I suppose, maybe 1. So I'm thinking I better maybe accelerate my schedule a little bit here, but it was a 40-mile-an-hour wind. I'm walking straight south. And we had a little bit of smoke, and so I realized, we might have got caught a little bit flat-footed here. So I go to Gold Beach. The new team comes in. They're trying to gather information, process, and put the whole thing together. And we realize, it's got away from us. So I come back up. I'm going to grab a few of my things, if they'll even let me in, which I understand that may be doubtful. And I come around the corner there, Lobster Creek, and the sky is aglow. And it's the most intimidating thing I've ever seen in my life. And I thought, okay, I'm going to keep going, but I don't know if I'll be able to get to the cabin. That's not important. My God, are we going to lose Agness? And I really thought that. And there's a couple other spots between there. And when you get to the Illinois River Bridge, you can see the sky. And so, yeah, I no prohibition. So I go up Spud Road, and instantly I see across the river Josh's place. He's got 2 fires, one just maybe 100 feet, 100 yards, whatever, below him, and one maybe an eighth of a mile above him. And that's not the information that the new team had or that we had. It was 2 miles different. And to see it on that ridge was just absolutely remarkable. So, Agness, you've been through a lot. I know you're tired of the smoke. I know you're tired of all of Curry County is of what we have been through this last 3 major fires in 16 or 17 months, 2 of them mega fires. These 2 fires are going to be pushing $180 million here before long. I'm very concerned about the Oregon Department of Revenue, Oregon Department of Forestry, my apologies there. They've already spent over $500 million in fires this year. So their budget's going to be coming up. I want to tell you what I believe my job is, and I hope you agree. But what your job is to make sure, and this will sound a little bit academic, but go home, look at your property, look at your gutters, do everything you possibly can. I'm going to clean my gutters. It's a small thing, but it is a huge thing. I don't know if we're always going to be able to depend on structure protection people. And the reason I say that, I'll clean my gutters, and it's just something we have to be aware of, help our neighbors, remind our neighbors, whatever. I'm just about done here. But in this battle for the budget, that includes the Forest Service too, as they try their best to go from fire management back to forest management. They are on that path, and we're going to have to help them. I'm not saying they haven't done things wrong. All of us got caught flat-footed. But there is a new approach that I want to communicate to you that I have witnessed every day. I've been there almost every day for the 6:30 meetings from the 1st of August on. And I see the cooperation, state fire marshal, and Kyle just basically mentioned it, everybody putting an effort together to try and make the best possible decisions we can. Even the county with Jim Watson and all of you. We've learned a lot. I've learned how much I don't know in these last 17, 18 months. But we're going to have to go to the state legislature. We're going to have to go to our national representatives. We're going to have to battle for these budgets because Oregon is at risk. You saw what happened in California 2 consecutive years. Folks, as you know, they don't have 1/100th of the fuel we have. And so Oregon, it's a huge risk. And if we start now, we can push back a little bit, plan ahead, and we're just going to have to fight for the local budgets, the state budgets, and the federal budgets, and help these people do their job. And of course, along with that is federal forest management, public lands management policies. That's my job, one of my jobs, and I'll sure do my best. I've spent a lot of time in Salem, made a lot of friends, I'm gaining more confidence. And so, yeah, I'll be around for questions too. I feel bad for the smoke you're breathing and what you're dealing with. And we can prepare, but I also believe that we're going to hit a little period here where we don't have any more of these mega fires, and we'll welcome. I just heard the outboard motor start up down there. I thought it was Jack Hunt back fishing for a minute there. So yeah, that's part of the visitors returning, and thank you all very much for being here today. And you're surrounded with some very, very good people that have truly made an effort. Who's next?
All right, everybody. Hi, my name is Ian Yocum. I'm the incident commander for the Oregon State Fire Marshal's office, and I'm the last speaker. Is that worth an applause? No? Thank you. Thank you very much. Just really quick, I am a positive person as well, and I'm also a servant. When I say I'm a servant in the sense that I do this job to serve others, and I think all of us that are here that are representing our fire teams, we all are servants. And on a positive note, we haven't lost one single home. And I think that that is something to celebrate, and it is something to appreciate for all the hard work that's been done. With that said, I know that you guys have been dealing with smoke, fire for a long time, and we have as well. Our firefighters, just the State Fire Marshal's office, this is our 11th conflagration. So firefighters from all around the state have been breathing the smoke, fighting that fire, working really, really hard to protect those communities. So on Sunday, when we got called, I'll just talk a little bit about how our system works, and so there isn't any confusion, and so people kind of understand. It'll take me a few minutes, but I think it's worthy of talking about, is that this fire has been going for a long time, and your local fire chiefs and county commissioners and Curry and Coos County have been working together to protect all of the communities that are affected by this fire. So I think it's time we should celebrate Chief Bill Sherbath and Tyson Krager and Chief Watson. Chief Watson, where you at? And where's Chief? Yeah, real quick, let's a round of applause for them. Because there's a chief right there. Hello, sir. Thank you. I know that Tyson's not up here, and I know that Tyson built a lot of the structural protection plan, worked closely with all the teams that were here to make sure that there weren't homes lost. And you folks are the ones that made the decision to, when that fire did blow up, part of the plan was the next step was to call the Oregon State Fire Marshal's office, request a conflagration, and within minutes, that the office called the governor's office, and within minutes, that was approved. And first thing Monday morning, 4:30 in the morning, our teams were en route. 5 structural task forces, and what we do is we unify with our wildland partners. And that was 33 different fire departments from around the state. So when we talk about Oregonians helping Oregonians, it's a big deal. That's from Clackamas Fire, Portland Fire, Sweet Home, from all over the state. We all mobilized to protect your guys' homes. And but we only do that because of the local fire chiefs that came together. They took on the responsibility that first night. And then we came in, and we've met some of the local fire volunteers, and they said, thanks, this worked just like it's supposed to. We engaged, we took care of our community. You guys came when you said you were going to come. You took over so we could go back to our families, and that's exactly what we've done. And we haven't left here, and we're not going to leave here until we are confident that your homes and that there isn't any threat to your homes at all. So with that, I have my ops section chief, Alex Haven, right over here. We've been working hand in hand with our wildland partners. We call it Unified Command, and IC from Team 7, Eric Nur, right here. And it's one team, even though we might wear different colored shirts, and our missions are a little bit different in the sense that we protect the structures and they take care of the forest and the land, we're one team. One mission, one plan. Our crews work together, we brief them together, we take care of them all the same. So I really want to just make sure you guys understand, have a peace of mind that we're doing everything that we can to protect your homes. And I do also want to take a moment to thank Sheriff Ward and his deputies. On Sunday, they went around to your homes and they made sure that you guys got out. And it's a big responsibility. So thanks, Sheriff Ward and your deputies. So with that said, he did. He was hoping. That's right. So we're going to be around. If you have any questions, none of us are going to leave here. Like I said, we're servants, and we want to make sure that you guys all your questions are addressed. We'll get through this. And I'm really looking forward to some rain, like you guys are too. So thank you very much.